5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The American Metal.Magazine podcast.
Hey everybody, you got the dude here with American Metal.Magazine. We've got some very special guests with you today about a very exciting up-and-coming tour. So this is a big news flash. We've got a couple of people here with Fantom Fire second shooter, and another person on the bill is going to be Decapitation of a New Day. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
Good, doing good. How are you, man?
Excellent, excellent. So first and foremost, man, thanks for being on the show. You know, I get really excited when I hear about things that are happening out there in the scene, in shows, and what's going on with audiences. And I guess it's been a pretty good experience, man. You guys are really making some headway, and you've got some new dates coming up. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the back history of the band before we get into that, and just see how this all came to be. I guess starting with both of you guys, you know, one of the things that I find very interesting is our backgrounds in music, and how did that start? Sometimes it's because you listen to a specific album, which I think happens to a lot of people, or there's some other thing or person in your past that made it influence. Can you guys share a story like that?
Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, sure. So for me, I've always, from when I can remember, music was like a heartbeat inside of me. Not to sound so philosophical, but it just drew me to it. I remember my mom playing, you know, she's a big country fan, but like I would hear some of the 70s funk, and for what my body just would start moving. That stuff is great for that. And I just loved music. It was when I heard Eddie Van Halen play for the first time when I said, something inside of me said, oh,
Wow.
I want that. Whatever that is. And from there, I actually, in the early 80s, ended up with a guitar. It was an Andy Gibb guitar, actually. It had Andy Gibb's face on it. Yeah, and it was from like Toys R Us. My mom knew I loved music. She brought it home, and I felt something inside of me, so I wanted to dominate that thing. And then when I heard Eddie Van Halen, that's when I got real serious. And then really kind of what put a cherry on it for me, as funny as it sounds, is a band called Stryper.
I love Stryper.
With Michael Sweet and Oz Fox, and they would do these harmonies, and they would go, one guy would do a lead, the other guy would do a lead, and their songs were just so well done. And I just fell in love with those guys, and they had a real positive message, but I really liked that too. And so from there it went to Zakk Wylde. From there, you know, heavier stuff, and I always really loved the heavier stuff. Dimebag, that's kind of where my pinnacle got, and I just kept going that with, and then super heavy. A lot of the down-tuned, thick strings, you know, different guitars and stuff like that. So that's my story, man.
What's your bottom string right now, man?
72.
Yeah,
Good
nice.
Lord.
Yeah,
That's a
Will
bass-
and I,
That's a
Will and
bass
I
string?
was
That
talking
thing on a rope.
Yeah, I know, man. It's not,
That's a
that one's
master.
not breaking. That one's not breaking.
There you go,
No.
man. Yeah, I should try that, man. Yeah, I'm always breaking strings, man. I'm a big brute, so maybe I need to do that, man. I need to down tune and go with some bigger, heavier gauge, man. Maybe that'll make a difference. Well, what about you, man? What started down you? What started you down this road, man? What got you going?
Well, believe it or not, I'm hearing Travis talk, and we've talked before, but a lot of similarities. My parents, also listened to a lot of music, and the same thing, Santana, the Doobie Brothers, My parents loved Elvis. Um, let's see, my mom. I don't. This is way old. Gordon Lightfoot, if you can remember that.
Oh yes.
Cat. Cat. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. Anyway, she liked a lot of folk stars. And the Beatles, of course. And so, and then my dad got into country. Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Tanya Tucker. So when I was growing up, we always had music, and it wasn't one genre. It was kind of all over and also the funk stuff, right? Commodores. Yeah. Let me think. What else? Parliament. Any of that type of stuff. So we got a well-rounded, I guess, education in different types of music. But what got me was I was with my uncle, and he wasn't much older than me, but my mom's side of the family, they had a bunch of kids. So my uncle was actually maybe like 10 years older than me. And he had put on, do you guys remember the Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads tribute live album?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah,
it's kind of got a bluish purple looking cover on it, and it's live. Yeah. Anyways, this is in the 80s, and then my uncle had this huge stereo system, and some of you younger cats are listening to this on your phones, or you're listening onto your pods, or your little ear thingies, or maybe you're listening to it on your wireless Bluetooth speaker. But in the 80s, to listen to a metal album, we listened to the whole album, by the way. We just didn't listen to tracks. We planned a day where you listen to all 10 tracks, 12 tracks, whatever it happens to be. That was the event. And on top of that, they had these huge speakers. Do you guys remember the huge speakers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's what my uncle had, and I'm talking huge speakers with subs, and then he had the speakers, built up so high for the mids, and he put that on, and I didn't know what it was, but I thought it was the devil. But you know what? I really, really, really liked it. I really, really, really liked it. So, and like the hardest thing I had heard before that was Twisted Sister, which was okay, but I forgot. I don't even remember the song. It could have been like Mr. Crowley or something like that. But I heard this evil guitar with this huge drums and bass, and then I heard this guy who sounded like a screaming demon, which was Ozzy. And I mean, it was scary, but it fascinated me all at the same time, because it was nothing. Right. It was nothing like what I grew up with. This was like something different. And for me, actually, I started off playing drums. So for me, I really gravitated towards rhythm and percussion. And, what is it? Tommy Aldridge was in the band at the time. Great guy. Have met him. Super nice. I just remember that. So I got into drums and And then, how did I get into guitar? I don't even remember how. You know what it was? I had got sick and I couldn't play my drums because I was too weak, and I started picking up guitar and started dorking around with it, and I just kind of came across it pretty easy, and it kind of came to me pretty good, and that was that. So and of course they wanted to know how to play Randy Rhoads, and we didn't have tablature back then. We didn't have tablature. At that point, you had to hear what was on the tape or on your LP, and then you kind of had to guess. Do you remember that, Travis, trying to learn?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember doing that, and of course, I learned it the way I thought it was, and then I would see him play, and I was like, I wasn't even close. I wasn't even close to how Randy Rhoads was doing it. But, and there's some cool parts about that, too, because even though I wasn't playing it exactly right, it gave me an idea how to write my own stuff. Because I was no longer in the box. I know I was like, oh, well, that doesn't sound exactly like it, but dang, that sounds pretty cool. How did I come up with that? I don't know. And that kind of led to other stuff. And then, as I got older, definitely went the Striper route. and then got into the heavier stuff. Well, at the time, Metallica, Anthrax, Raven, if you guys remember them, any of that type of Slayer. Well, Slayer was a little bit later, and so I really got into that. But I still kind of hung on to my country roots. I still kind of hung on to my pop roots. So I love big choruses. I love big choruses on songs. So, so anything like, if it was the Eagles, if it was, I don't want to say Johnny Cash, but if it was like the Eagles or Journey or, something like that, I really love big, catchy hooks.
Yeah.
So that always kind of hung with me, but I also like the really, really heavy stuff.
Well,
so,
yeah, I think that, what happens is that these diversified experiences that you have leads to a better picture of, to me, what good music is. You mentioned one of my idols. I want to show you this real quick. If you can't see it at home, this is my Johnny Cash mug.
Always.
Yeah, Johnny Cash mug, holding it up to the camera. He really had a great vibe and put it out there, and you just knew it was special, man. So you know what that is. You know what that premium sound should be. You know when it's good. And I think that's what a lot of distinction bands don't really understand, that there's a line there where, it's something that somebody's going to really want to hear, or it's, it sounds like music. And that's what you guys do well, man. You break through that mold, man, and you bring something special to it. How did those influences affect how you're writing music right now, and what's going on, if you will, share what's happening as far as the music right now? Do you guys have stuff that's coming out?
Yeah, well, these are still huge influences on me. The big one that I've always liked, and from my child, I like storytellers. So again, Johnny Cash, right?
Oh yeah.
How he has a song about killing somebody just because he can, right? I always, when I think of, if you guys remember Folsom Prison Blues, he did that album right after releasing a Christian album. And his record label was like, hey, you can't do that. You just released a Christian album of standards. He's like, no, I'm doing whatever I want, man. I'm the man in black.
He's like, I'm Johnny Cash.
At Folsom Prison. So I thought, I love the storytelling. I love the storytelling of old country artists. I always gravitated that. And even, like the Eagles, they have Hotel California is an excellent example, but they have many different types of stories in their songwriting. So I always gravitated towards that. So for me, as I got better at writing lyrics and writing with different people and different singers and kind of doing that, which I've written with a lot of singers, I always wanted to get to a story with kind of a catchy chorus, whatever that happens to be. So one of our tracks on our album here, it's called Man from Torrid, right? And this is a story and this is with the co-writer. We were thinking about time travel.
Oh, wow.
Right? And if you guys are familiar with the Man from Torrid creepypasta, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, read about it. It's very interesting. Anyways, it has to do with time travel, and this guy goes to an airport and they can't find where he's from. But then I was also reading this other time travel story, trying to think of the book. It's from 1884, and it has to do with a guy named Boren. Anyways, I was thinking, well, if it's time travel, why can't they be the same person? Why can't they be the same character? Because if you're in 1882, why can't you go to 1972?
Yeah, you could go all over the place. What's stopping you, man? You got the DeLorean time traveler right out parked out front. You can just zip around, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the singer our singer that I was writing with, she was really into goth stuff, and so we're like, well, what if his fuel is blood? Okay, and so our song kind of talks about what his story, what happened to him, how he got from wherever he was to this time travel thing. And it doesn't happen exactly the way you think. We leave it at one thing, but we leave open enough room till we can go to a part two. So I always thought that was interesting, because we it talks about losing his family, and something happened on his planet. and the scientists tried to help it. It didn't help. It made things worse, and somehow he's here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love stories like that. I also love stories like, just thinking about a really awesome song that makes you feel alive, and whatever that
Yeah.
is. Maybe it's a Striper song, "Love to Hell with the Devil," love that tune. Maybe it's a Slayer song. I love both, man. I always love both them cats, or whatever it happens
Yeah.
to be for you. But it is that thing that makes you feel alive, and I think
Yeah,
a
there you
lot of
go.
times for us, we get so busy in our mundane lives, whether it's school or work or kids or an ex or whatever it happens to be, we kind of get numb and we forget about that feeling alive, because that's, you only go around this planet once. So uh, I wrote a song called Sonic Love, and it's about embracing that emotion, embracing that need to feel alive. When you think about that one song, or you think about that memory, that makes you feel electric. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
That's
so
great,
but
man.
this is
Yeah.
all has
Right.
come with a process. This is writing with other writers, but always kind of keeping in mind in that story. I like a good story. I don't just I don't know, but that's me. And that took a while. As far as guitar playing goes, I was a six string slinger for years and years. I don't have a rhythm guitar player. My buddy Travis has a rhythm. Or Travis is the rhythm player and the lead player, and they also have an awesome lead player, Win. God, I got both of you guys are freaking awesome, by the way. I don't
Thank you.
have that luxury. I have me. So we went with different tones, and we were taking a look at how can we beef up the tone a little bit, but still have some guitar solos so you can hear the solos and it doesn't sound like you know like it's
Well,
studied.
Travis, this is directed towards you. How did those influence shape your music, man? Do you follow along with what Will's saying, or what happened there? How does that affect your when you go into the studio?
Oh yeah, I agree with a lot of what Will said, and it's very similar, the same for me. For
Be right
me,
back.
when I first started with music, it was like a departure. I grew up in a really great family. I was hugely blessed, man. My parents were very enthusiastic about my playing, no matter what sounds were coming out of my room. My mom was always like,
Let's
"Oh,
hear
that
it for the
sounds
parents
just
on that one
man,
for
yeah,
patience, man. Right on.
yeah, man, yeah." And my whole family was always like very. They would always ask, "Oh, hey, so you're writing songs? What's going on?" And when I would get in bands, as terrible as the bands were in junior high, and they would always ask, they would always support. But the departure part came for me. I had a great family, but I had a lot of anger and like inside, and so that's kind of what drew me to more of the darker, heavier stuff, because I could relate, like they would talk about stuff, and I'd be like, man, that's how I feel inside sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's what lent itself to me going like heavier and heavier and heavier, and so my rhythms are real dark. Um, I'm a big Lamb of God fan, so there's a ton of riffing going on, and just
Yeah.
like real real groovy stuff too.
Yeah.
I really love like the groove, something that you can just bang, and then something will open up the mosh. That kind of, I like that physical, and I
Yeah.
like
Right.
everybody to behave and be nice to each other too. I don't want to kill
Right.
anybody, but
Yeah.
like for instance, one of our brand new singles is called "Look in My Eyes," and it's
I
the
love
base.
that song. I
Thank
love
you.
that song.
Thank you. That song is your basic revenge thing. It starts out and a guy, is going through school and he's getting picked on and picked on and picked on. And then towards the middle of the song, basically the tables turn. And now he's not the big bad bully dude. He's kind of down on his luck. And he comes across a person he was always picking on.
Yeah.
And it's very dark. Basically, that person kind of gets retribution on them, and stuff like that. And I was never bullied. I'm like a pretty cool kid, always have been. I was never bullied, and I never bullied anybody. I'm just a pretty even keel. Like, I'm down to have fun no matter what. That's been from the day I was born. But
Right.
these these themes come in here. And when I
Yeah.
write that, it 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 releases, whatever's inside, you know what I mean? So,
I
you
do
know,
know what you mean. Yeah.
and so that's what's always lent itself to so even if I'm like writing like a a more positive song, it's still aggressive because my positivity is aggressive also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, it doesn't matter if you're in a dark time in your life and you're writing some dark songs, and you're just getting it out that way. And music has always been that for me, something that I can, you know, I can't sit down across from a shrink or something. Not that that's a bad thing. You deal with things, that's great. But I can't sit across from somebody I'm paying $150 an hour and just go with my problems. My
Right.
problems have to go to that fretboard and then out this way. And
Yeah.
that's kind of how it's been for me.
I can totally relate to that, man. And if you're a musician out there, and you've ever had something like, I don't know, man, you've blown an amp, or you lost your your quarter-inch cord, you left it at a show, and you get home and you can't jam, for a few days, or maybe, God forbid, about a week, or you can't, sing or whatever, man, you get pent up. It builds up, man. There's no other way that I could describe it other than all of that builds up, and you just got to jam, man. You just got to rock. And it's kind of the same thing on live performances. Don't you guys agree with that? It's like it builds up. You get where you're jonesing, man, for some rock and roll, some action to play or whatever, create. That's
There's
how I am.
Yeah, yeah,
there
totally,
is
for
no
sure. Yeah,
doubt.
we
There's no
got
doubt
it.
about
Yeah.
that. The whole
The one thing I will say about both of our bands is that we love to entertain people, because you spent your money. We want you guys to have a good
yeah,
time.
the, that
Travis's band puts on an awesome show, man. Just seeing
Yeah.
it is crazy good. And and we feel the same way too. You work all week, you pay some money. We want to give you a good show. We want you to not remember that hour or two that you're there for the thing, and we want you to have fun. Yeah, definitely.
And that's so important. And from what I understand, you guys have had some great success. You've had some great crowds, and a lot of great people coming out and checking out these bands, because these bands are awesome. If you're not aware of it, go to Metal.Magazine.com, and you can check out this band, and you can look up the up and coming tour dates that they're having there as well, by the way, and get your head around where they are and when they're going to be in your town. From what I understand, we got a pretty aggressive tour schedule coming up right now. And so let's get into that, just talking about stage antics and selling it, man, out there. How do you guys do that, man? Is that something you put real effort? We're just saying you did, but how does that work, man, when you get on stage? What happens when you get on stage, man? Does something take over? What happens to you when you do that?
Travis, what happens to you, man?
I become an absolute maniac, and it's a trip. It's not like like inside anyways. Inside, it's not like a go me thing. It's more like a we're here together, gathered in this place of metal, and we are going to go through this journey together, and we're going to be sweating and snotting and bleeding,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. And my philosophy and the philosophy of my bandmates, and I assume the same with Will because I've seen his live shows many times. We are all about, we're not going to half-ass it on that stage. We're going to give you 110% of what we have. We maintain our gear. We put work into our guitars. We don't we don't want anything happening. Now, weird things happen on stage. Your cord comes
Oh
out.
yeah.
We move around like freaking maniacs on there. What we will do, and I guarantee it, is we'll be sweating as much as you in the pit, and we're going to give you 110% of what we got. And we're the type of band that, you know, we went on tour with Go Ahead and Die about a year and a half ago, and that's Max Cavalera and his son, and they are the greatest people. And Gloria, his wife, is the greatest. They brought us on their tour. We did about 10 or 12 dates with them, and we had so much fun. We've always been the type of band who's like, you know, we don't have anything to prove. We write the music that we write. We don't know if these people are going to like us, but we're just going to get on stage. There's not a ton of talking. It just like ramped up from the first note to the last note. We give you everything. We got very little talking, and it's just heavy, and we had a great reception with that. It was total fun.
You know what happens if you haven't been to one of these shows recently? You owe it to yourself to get out and check this out. This is no joke. It's a worldwide phenomenon. The dude has been very lucky. I've been interviewing bands from all over the world, from Australia, New Zealand, England, Canada. I didn't know Canada had rock and roll up there. Well, yeah, Rush, but yeah, yeah, okay. But other than that, I didn't know that. No, they got some great notes. Seriously, they got some killer bands up there. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. But all over the world, man, there's these little pockets, you know, these shows that are happening, like the ones that you guys are putting on. And that's what's exciting. So can you tell me a little bit about some of the tour dates? What's going on? Do you have a list of dates that you can share with me real quick?
Yeah, the first date that we're going to start with is on Halloween, guys. Halloween in San Diego at a really cool dive bar called the Bancroft Bar. Super chill, very comfortable if you like seeing live bands, a chill spot to hang out, have a few brews, and just, you know, have fun doing whatever it is that you do. Awesome place. Really intimate, cool setup. So that's the first night. The second night will be in Las Vegas. So we'll be at the Double Down Saloon. We played there a few times. Always a great turnout. You know, we'll get started probably around 9 or 10 at night because, you know, Las Vegas goes all night. You know, I don't think it even stops till, I don't think it stops till the next shift comes on at like 10 a.m. But it's just go. Great turnout there. And then what's the next stage, Travis? I kind of go foggy after that.
Yeah, no worries. I'm pretty excited about it. November 2nd is in King at the Black Bridge Brewery, and that is going to be fun. We're gonna have a great time. I'm a big craft brew guy, so I'm sure after we're done playing, I'll be tasting the fruits for sure. And then November 3rd is down the 40. About an hour and 15 minutes to Williams, Arizona. And there we're playing a free show at the Williams, Arizona. It's a free show at the Sultana Bar in Williams. It's the world famous Sultana Bar. We're looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. And then the 4th, we have a day off, and then we end up at Orange Gorilla Studios in Albuquerque, Mexico. And that's where we line up with the third band that we will have on this tour. It's Decapitation of a New Day, and there's a couple of openers for them also. So, you know, they're going to be bringing their friends. We do very well in Albuquerque. That's going to be a great show. From there, we go to Farmington, New Mexico, at a place called Dino's Bar. That's going to be awesome. And then we head down on the 7th to Gallup, New Mexico. That's at a place called Wowie's. We actually missed the Soulfly tour by about 3 or 4 days. They play there 4 days before us. And then One that I'm really looking forward to is November 8th. That's in Jerome, Arizona, at a place called the Wicked City Pub. It's a tiny place. So first come, first serve there. It is going to be awesome. That whole town is apparently haunted. This pub is the greatest, and we're looking forward to that. And then we're coming back to LA.
Wow, man, that sounds like a great tour of some great places, man. So make sure that you visit AmericanMetalMagazine.com and you can get all of the links to all of the locations. You can go to the Anadex actually and look up this flyer and get a link to the address. There's links to where you can get tickets if they have them for sale. So all you need to do is pick up these tickets or visit American Metal Magazine and verify all these dates, find out when it's going to be coming to your town, and get down there and check out this band. Let me tell you, it's going to be quite an experience. This is some of the best talent in America. And if you miss this, you're just really missing out on an incredible scene with some incredible bands. This isn't just the regular local band fare here. These guys tour, they're pros. If you've been listening to this interview, you can see they're serious about this. And it's going to be well worth your money to come out and see this show. You're going to be blown away, man. So tell your friends and get the social media working for us. And let's get enough people out there to show the support for these bands for coming such a long way to rock it in your town. I understand that New Mexico and Arizona are in a couple of places that you really want to see some new fans. Is that right, guys?
Definitely.
Yes,
I know
definitely.
we're really excited to do this, and yeah, we're really humbled to have Second Shooter even have us as support. So we're really grateful, and we have Robert with Decapitation of a New Day. They're a New Mexico-based band, pretty good following out there. So we're super excited to, you know, get new people, meet new people, melt some faces with some new jams, and yeah, we're really grateful for those cats over there, man. That's a market that I don't think uh, my band would normally go out and have the opportunity to go rock out, but. We're really grateful. We're really grateful that Second Shooter and Decapitation of a New Day feel like we can be a good support.
It's going to
Well,
be awesome.
that's great, and we really appreciate you guys being on the show and letting us know, number one, about, the back history of the bands. That always helps, because I'm going to go see a band. I'd like to know a little bit more about them. And I
Heck
think you
yeah.
guys, are very interesting guys, and you can see how serious you are about the music and how much you love it and how much it means to you. And I just wanted to elaborate on one point real quick before we wrap that up, is what I call this magic energy that happens, man. And you guys touched on it a little bit, and you know what I'm talking about when you're on stage and there's this energy that's flowing between you and the bandmates and the crowd. And you're on another plane there, man. The real world just kind of melts away, man. And you feel this connection. And if you haven't been part of this, then you're missing out a big experience in life. It's raw, it's energetic. Sometimes I think it's even tribal, man, but it's something that you need to get out and check out and experience firsthand. So come on and see this band as they come into your town. Is there anybody that you guys would like to shout out to, just a thanks, or somebody that's really helped you along the way that you just like to mention?
Travis?
Oh man, my parents who listened to me learn how to play guitar forever, and just uh, just encouraged the heck out of me. So yep.
Awesome. Will, you have anybody you'd like to say hi to?
Oh man, a shout out to everyone who has helped us get to this point. I don't know if every band goes through this, but for us, this has not been an easy road. We started off with a development deal with our A&R for Curtain Call Records, and man, that whole year we really learned a lot. Engineers, producers, management, you name it. And then, people like, I can't keep saying this enough. Travis, man, these guys are on their third album. We're releasing our first one. I mean,
Wow.
he's been like a big brother mentor, even, a lot of times it's don't do that, Will. And so, because I'll think some really messed up things, but, it's having so, definitely a shout out to all those cats. And then, there's been a lot of people, man, but definitely our president of the record label, John, our PR gal, oh my gosh, Dilly Briggs in Los Angeles, with
Yeah.
Plow Zone Radio and with Chaotic Radio, and doing the stuff that she does in the SoCal area. I mean, she has helped us so much. And then Brian Moore with Curtain Call Records. I mean,
Yes,
he's our
Brian.
other PR person. So
Yeah.
for us, I mean, it has really taken a whole team, and then learning how to trust. Because I don't know if you guys trust people. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not a trusting person by nature. I tend to look at the glass half empty. I don't know, just some bad things have happened, but I think all bad things have happened to all of us. So,
Yeah,
having
definitely,
those
man.
people who care enough to tell me the truth, like Travis, doesn't say it at a being malicious, but this is just, here's what I think you should know. And I appreciate that, because not everybody does that. And we've been on the other end of that too. So there's so many people, man. But yeah, my parents as well. If I wouldn't have got hurt, sick, and injured, then I wouldn't be playing guitar.
Yeah.
So that was really important. And then, my bandmates, man, Angel, Chris, bands, who I like to give a shout out to? Everyone who told us we couldn't succeed. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for all
so
you
much
people
for
who told us
that.
we couldn't do it. Because
Right
you know
on.
what? We learned how to become resilient, and we learned how to master our craft. So thank you
That's
for
right.
saying we couldn't accomplish it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, that's excellent. That's how you do it, man. You turn that frown upside down,
That's it.
That's how you make it. We were just talking in conclusion about the metal community and what you're seeing out there, because like Travis with his band and taking Fantom Fire and under their wing, essentially, from what I'm hearing, and just kind of helping them grow. And I've seen this before, other bands helping other bands. It's an amazing situation that you have, and I'd like to shout out to somebody else that's real important in this whole thing, and that's the DJs that we work with.
Oh, yeah.
Because there is a brand new thing out there. To me, it's kind of brand new. I guess it's been a little while, but it's growing popularity, and that's online radio. And this has been a voice for the metal bands for quite some time. And we're going to be talking now with some bands in the area that these guys are touring. And what we're asking for from the DJs is to advertise their spot, talk about this show on your station, give them a mention in your hometown. Everybody's going to know where these places are, and direct them to American Metal.Magazine or their websites so that the fans can find out more about them. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about these shows. And we want to tell all these DJs that we appreciate them. And part of what American Metal.Magazine is doing to help the independent bands is, if you have an independent radio station, if you have an online radio station out there, I implore you, please register with American Metal.Magazine and talk about, you can link or associate yourself with these bands as you play them and get true credit for it finally. And this will help you grow as a DJ. So it's all about this community that we've built with the Amnidex 2.0 that allows people to come in and search for radio stations, search for bands, search for venues, find out where they're at. The whole thing, we put it together to help support the independent music scene. So visit us today and check us out. You'll be able to see this band and find out all the information, not only about the venues, but their PR company and everything else associated with the band on American Metal Magazine's I'm the Dex 2.0, which is a file share system. But again, guys, thank you for being on the show today, man. It means everything to AMM. We're super excited. I'd love to get out there and see the show. If you just get a little closer to Florida, how about if I meet you in Alabama?
Well, I don't know about. Baby. I think next year we'll be looking at Florida for sure.
Hey, all right, man. That's good. That's good, because Alabama's still pretty far, man. But I'd come for you guys, man. I'd come and see it, man. I'd drive to California if I could, man. If I had my Harley, man, I would just jump on it and come out and see you guys, man. But
that's very unfortunately, cool,
man, the dude doesn't ride his bike anymore, man. I can't do that anymore. But God, I miss it, man. If you guys out there ride bikes, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we're going to sign off again. It's been a pleasure having you guys on. And as we sign out, can I get a big go AMM here at the end? Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Go AMM! Wow!